Have you ever found yourself waking up at exactly 3 a.m., lying awake in the stillness of the night, wondering why it keeps happening? If so, you're not alone. Many older adults experience this early morning wakefulness, and it's more common and more meaningful than you might think. It's not just about age or restlessness. Often, your body and mind are trying to tell you something important. In this video, we'll gently explore 7 deeper reasons why people tend to wake around 3 a.m. as they get older. These reasons are rooted in changes to our sleep cycles, hormone shifts, emotional memory, and even the quiet reflections that often surface with age. You'll learn about how stress hormones like cortisol may spike during the night, how shifts in melatonin affect your natural rhythm, and how unresolved feelings, grief, worry, or even unspoken gratitude can surface when the world is silent. But this isn't something to fear. These wake-up calls may actually be invitations to listen more closely to your body, your heart, and your life story. So if you've ever asked, why now? Stay with us. What you discover here may help you sleep more peacefully and understand yourself more deeply. Let's begin. Reason 1. Your sleep cycles have changed, and that's completely natural. As we age, our relationship with sleep begins to change. The deep, uninterrupted sleep we might have enjoyed in our younger years slowly gives way to lighter, more fragmented rest. And that's not something to be afraid of, it's simply how the aging body adapts. In the early part of the night, we experience more slow-wave, restorative sleep, the kind that helps the body repair and restore itself. But as the night progresses, that deep sleep gives way to lighter REM cycles and more frequent awakenings. By 3 a.m., your body has already completed much of its physical restoration, and it enters a more alert, sensitive state. This shift is part of your natural circadian rhythm, which is like an internal clock that changes subtly as we get older. You may find yourself going to bed earlier than you used to, and waking up before the sun. That's not a flaw, it's your body following its new rhythm, gently reshaping how it rests. But here's what's important to know. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't mean your body is broken or that something is wrong. It means your sleep architecture has evolved. Your brain may be more responsive to small sounds or temperature changes. You may wake up needing to use the bathroom, or your body may be shifting out of a deep sleep phase into a lighter one. This moment of wakefulness is a biological pause, not a failure. Rather than fighting it, try to meet it with gentleness. Sometimes simply acknowledging, here's that 3 a.m. moment again, and allowing yourself to rest quietly without pressure to fall asleep, can be surprisingly comforting. In fact, throughout history, humans often slept in 2 phases, with a period of quiet wakefulness in the middle of the night used for prayer, reflection, or simply stillness. You're not alone in this. You're not even unusual. You are part of something very human and very ancient. So the next time you wake in the small hours, remember this. Your body isn't betraying you. It's simply changing and asking you to meet it with understanding. Reason 2. Stress hormones, your body's quiet alarm system. Around 3 a.m., your body's natural levels of cortisol, a hormone tied to alertness and stress, begin to rise. Cortisol isn't bad. It's essential for helping us wake up and feel energized in the morning. But when it surges too early, especially in response to unresolved worry or emotional strain, it can act like an internal alarm clock, one that's difficult to snooze. This is especially common in older adults, because as we age, our ability to regulate cortisol can change. Stressors don't always look the same as they did in earlier decades. You may not be rushing to work or managing young children anymore, but the weight of life's deeper concerns, health, loneliness, mortality, unfinished conversations, or worries for loved ones, can quietly settle into the body. And the body listens even when the mind is trying to sleep. You might not even be aware that something is bothering you, but your nervous system remembers. It holds subtle tensions in the background. And at 3 a.m., when the world is still and distractions are gone, those internal signals become easier to hear. Your heart may beat just a little faster. Your thoughts may start to stir. And without meaning to, you find yourself awake, perhaps not from noise or discomfort, but from a silent call within. The truth is, this early morning moment may be less about insomnia and more about emotional energy needing space. A conversation unspoken. A grief not yet named. a worry that never quite got a voice. If this happens, try not to panic. Instead, breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body know it's safe. Keep a journal beside your bed. Write down a thought, a prayer, or even just a word. Sometimes that's all your mind needs to feel heard so it can rest again. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It might mean that your body is asking for your compassion, not your judgment. Remember this, even in wakefulness you can find rest. If this video spoke to something you felt in those quiet early hours, you're not alone. Many of us are waking, not just from sleep, but to a deeper understanding of our bodies, our emotions, and the season of life we're in. And that awakening is something to be honored. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Let's continue. Reason 3. The mind becomes a mirror in the quiet hours. At 3 a.m. the world is still. The hum of the day has faded and the noise of life, appointments, conversations, errands, has gone quiet. And in that silence, something extraordinary often happens. The mind begins to reflect. As we age, we carry more within us. Not just memories, but meaning. Regrets, triumphs, unanswered questions, moments of tenderness, and sometimes even sorrow. The early hours of the morning can become a natural time when these inner reflections rise to the surface. Not to haunt us, but perhaps to be acknowledged gently and honestly. The mind is like a lake. During the busy day, the surface is stirred and rippling. But at 3 a.m. the water becomes still. And in that stillness, we begin to see what's beneath. The truths we've set aside, the emotions we haven't yet spoken to, or the quiet longings we thought we had outgrown. This kind of wakefulness isn't always a medical issue. It's often an emotional or spiritual invitation. It's a time when the subconscious speaks more freely, when the soul perhaps taps us on the shoulder and says, "Are you still listening?" You might find yourself thinking of someone you've lost, or remembering a decision you made long ago, or wondering about your purpose in this season of life. These thoughts are not distractions. They are the threads of your life story, asking to be held with care. In those moments, try not to fill the silence too quickly. Instead, let yourself be present. Place a hand over your heart. Say a prayer. Light a candle if you like. Or simply breathe and listen inwardly. What you feel at 3 a.m. may not need to be solved. It may simply need to be seen. And when we meet these quiet visitors with kindness instead of resistance, they often soften. And sleep, like a gentle tide, returns. So the next time you wake in the dark, ask yourself, what is it my heart is trying to show me? You may discover that even your restlessness has wisdom. Reason 4. Your body may be whispering about your health. Sometimes waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just about thoughts or emotions. It's your body trying to tell you something. As we grow older, we become more sensitive to subtle shifts in our health. And in the quiet of the night, those whispers become easier to hear. It might be a need to use the bathroom, a common result of aging bladders or certain medications. Or it could be something less obvious. A slight drop in blood sugar, a bit of acid reflux, mild joint pain, or even shallow breathing. These aren't always dramatic symptoms, but they can be just enough to stir you from sleep. Your body, in its wisdom, doesn't wake you up to punish you. It wakes you up to protect you. In fact, many people don't realize that the body performs some of its most important housekeeping tasks between 2 o'clock and 4 a.m., clearing toxins, repairing tissues, and regulating internal systems. If something is off, if your liver is overworking, if your heart rate spikes slightly, if your breathing changes, your body might signal you with wakefulness. This is why it's helpful to gently notice patterns. Do you always wake around the same time? Do you feel thirsty, achy, or anxious when it happens? Are there changes in your digestion, your breathing, or your dreams? These clues aren't meant to worry you. They're invitations to listen more closely, to treat your body not as a problem to be fixed, but as a companion that's been walking with you faithfully for a lifetime. And if your body is asking for help, even softly, it deserves to be heard with care. A simple change in routine, a lighter dinner, more hydration, gentler movement during the day, or even a conversation with your doctor, might make all the difference. But more than anything, your body is asking to be partnered with, not battled. So when you wake at 3 a.m., consider this. What is my body trying to tell me, with love, not fear? Because in the end, health is not just about fixing what's wrong. It's about deepening our relationship with the body we've lived in all these years. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Let's continue. Reason 5. The echo of disconnection, loneliness in the quiet. There's something few people talk about openly but many feel deeply, loneliness, especially in the later chapters of life. During the day we may keep ourselves busy. We see neighbors, talk to loved ones on the phone, turn on the television for background noise, or tend to small routines that make life feel structured and safe. But at 3 a.m. all that falls away. There are no distractions, no one calling, no emails or errands, just silence. And in that silence, something often surfaces, a quiet ache for connection. Maybe it's the absence of a partner who used to breathe beside you in the dark. Maybe it's the weight of distance, grown children with their own lives, friends who've drifted, or loved ones who've passed on. Maybe it's not even about anyone specific, but a deep sense of feeling untethered. At 3 a.m., even if your body is comfortable and your mind is quiet, the soul may still whisper, "I miss being seen. I miss being needed." This kind of loneliness isn't a weakness. It's a natural part of being human, a longing not just to be around others but to feel truly connected, truly known. And the nighttime hours, with all their silence, can sometimes amplify what we haven't fully named during the day. If this resonates, know this: you are not broken. You are not alone in feeling alone. And you don't need to solve that feeling at 3 a.m. You only need to recognize it with tenderness. Sometimes just placing a hand on your heart and saying, "This feeling is real, but it's not all of who I am," can soften its edge. And if you're able, consider planting small seeds of reconnection during the day. A kind word to a neighbor, a note to someone you haven't spoken to in a while, even joining a group or starting a hobby that brings you around others. Tiny steps can restore a sense of belonging that carries you through the night. Because loneliness at 3 a.m. isn't just a problem. It's a reminder of how deeply we long to matter, to be touched by life, to be seen. And you do matter. More than you know. Reason 6. Changes in body temperature regulation and its impact on sleep. One of the lesser discussed, but very real, reasons older adults tend to wake up around 3 a.m. is due to shifts in how the body regulates temperature. As we age, our internal thermostat, controlled by the hypothalamus in the brain, becomes less efficient. That means our bodies can become more sensitive to slight changes in temperature, especially during the night. While this may sound like a small thing, it can significantly disrupt sleep. In the first half of the night, the body naturally cools itself down as part of the sleep cycle. This drop in core temperature signals to the brain that it's time for deep, restorative rest. But by the early morning hours, often around 3 a.m., your body starts to slowly warm back up in preparation for waking. For older adults, this warming process can sometimes feel abrupt or uncomfortable. Even subtle increases in temperature can trigger awakenings. You may wake up sweating slightly or feeling restless without knowing why. Or you might find yourself throwing off blankets or reaching for them again, trying to stay comfortable. Additionally, aging skin and blood vessels don't regulate heat as well as they once did. Conditions like reduced circulation or changes in hormones, particularly estrogen and testosterone, can affect how your body retains or releases heat. For women, postmenopausal hot flashes and night sweats can be a major contributor. For men, lower testosterone levels are also linked to temperature instability and poor sleep quality. This is compounded by the fact that many older adults naturally produce less melatonin, the hormone that supports both sleep and thermoregulation. Melatonin doesn't just help you fall asleep. It helps maintain that cool, stable body temperature throughout the night. When levels decline, sleep becomes lighter and more easily disrupted by even minor discomfort. So what can you do? Here are a few gentle, practical tips that may help. Keep your bedroom cool, ideally between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 19 degrees Celsius, and use breathable bedding materials like cotton or bamboo. Dress in light, layered sleepwear so you can easily adjust throughout the night. Limit heavy meals, alcohol, and caffeine in the evening, all of which can affect internal temperature. Stay well hydrated, but avoid large amounts of liquid just before bed to prevent nighttime bathroom trips. If night sweats or hot flashes are frequent, speak with your healthcare provider. There may be safe, natural options or medications to support you. Understanding these subtle shifts in your body can bring not only relief, but a sense of empowerment. You're not imagining things, and you're not doing anything wrong. Your body is simply changing, asking for care in new and thoughtful ways. And when you respond to those needs with compassion and wisdom, even your most restless nights can become opportunities to nurture yourself more deeply. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Let's continue. Reason 7. Sleep apnea and breathing disruptions you may not even notice. Many older adults who wake up around 3 a.m. may not realize that the cause lies in something invisible and silent: interruptions in breathing during sleep. A condition known as sleep apnea, particularly the obstructive kind, can quietly disturb your sleep without you ever fully waking up enough to know why. Sleep apnea is a condition where breathing temporarily stops or becomes shallow during sleep, often due to a narrowing or collapse of the upper airway. These pauses in breathing can last from a few seconds to over a minute, and they can happen dozens or even hundreds of times each night. What makes sleep apnea tricky is that it's often undiagnosed, especially in older adults. Many people don't remember waking up gasping or choking. They just know they feel tired in the morning, or they often wake in the middle of the night, particularly during the early hours. Here's why this ties into 3 a.m. wake-ups. During the latter part of your sleep cycle, your body enters longer periods of REM sleep. This is a stage of lighter, dream-filled sleep during which your muscles become more relaxed, including the muscles that support your airway. If you already have mild or undiagnosed sleep apnea, this muscle relaxation can worsen breathing disruptions. And as your brain senses drops in oxygen or changes in breathing rhythm, it may trigger micro-awakenings, sometimes subtle, sometimes more noticeable, often right around the 3 to 4 a.m. window. Even if you don't fully wake, your sleep quality suffers. Over time, this can lead to daytime fatigue, irritability, memory issues, headaches, and even increased risk for heart problems and high blood pressure. So what are the signs to watch for? Waking up gasping or feeling short of breath. Snoring, especially if it's loud or irregular, often reported by a partner. Waking up with a dry mouth or sore throat. Frequent nighttime awakenings without an obvious cause. Feeling tired even after 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Morning headaches or mood changes. The good news is sleep apnea is treatable. Diagnosis often involves a simple overnight sleep study, done either at home or in a clinic. Treatments range from lifestyle changes, like weight loss or sleep position adjustments, to medical devices like CPAP machines, which gently keep airways open through the night. For older adults, getting evaluated for sleep apnea isn't about fear, it's about proactive care. It's about recognizing that your sleep matters, and that your brain and heart need steady, uninterrupted rest to thrive. So if you're waking at 3 a.m. and can't figure out why, consider this. It might be time to look at your breathing, not just your thinking. Your body may be calling out, not in anxiety or confusion, but in a quiet effort to protect your heart, your brain, and your life. And the most loving thing you can do in response is listen. Final thoughts. If you've stayed with me through these 7 reasons, I hope you're beginning to see your 3 a.m. wake-ups in a new light. They're not just sleep disruptions. They're not a sign of weakness or failure. They are invitations, moments of awareness, healing, and perhaps even quiet wisdom rising to the surface. Whether it's a shift in your body's rhythm, a whisper from your emotions, or simply the soul seeking stillness, each awakening holds meaning. And when we begin to listen with gentleness instead of frustration, we soften the edges of our restlessness and open a door to deeper understanding. So the next time you wake in the middle of the night, Try to meet the moment with curiosity rather than resistance. Maybe you journal a thought, breathe with intention, whisper a prayer, or simply sit in the silence, knowing that this too is part of your beautiful human experience. You are not broken. You are evolving. And you are deeply, deeply worthy of rest, however it comes. If this video brought you comfort or clarity, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel for more calm, heartfelt conversations about aging with grace. Like this video if it resonated with you. And share in the comments. Have you been waking around 3 a.m.? What has that experience been like for you? Your story matters. And by sharing it, you might help someone else feel a little less alone in the night. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take gentle care of yourself and may peace find you, even at 3 a.m.